Hey everybody, so we're going to get started here just in a minute. It's going to take a few seconds to let everybody come in, get settled, make sure in case anybody's running late that they might want to jump in here. Just to introduce myself, my name is Shay Grover. I'm the enrollment advisor for Western Canada. I graduated from Acadia University in 2018 with a Bachelor of Science in Psychology and History. I went on to the University of Calgary to do my master's with strategic studies, and now I'm back at Acadia, being able to present to all you good people. So we will get started here in just 1 second. If you do have any questions throughout the presentation, feel free to throw your questions in the Q&A, and I'll be happy to answer those towards the end of the presentation. If you do have any questions that maybe you also feel like you weren't fully answered during the presentation, you can also feel free to reach out to that email that you see on your screen now, and I'll be happy to contact you. And you can also book one-on-one meetings with me as well through the Future Students page. So if you'd like to just meet with me a little bit more personally to work through your application or any programs you're interested in, you can go ahead and do that. That's located on our Future Students page. You'll see a little QR code there on the screen as well. If you want to scan that real quickly, that'll give you access to our inquiry forms, which will just keep you in the loop for any events that are going on in BC or any events in general. So for example, I'm running a residence and housing event later on in November, so you would get some information about that as well. So other than that, I think maybe we will get started. So hi everybody. Just to teach you a little bit about Acadia. So we were founded in 1838. We're one of the oldest and most established universities in all of Canada. We predate Canada itself, so we have a long history of offering high standard academics. We do have a bit of a smaller campus, so we have anywhere between 3,000 to 4,000 students generally on campus at any given time, and these are students from across 600 or 65 different countries in every province and territory. That's all located right here on this 250-acre campus that you're seeing on your screen now. So it is a very close-knit community with small class sizes, small faculty ratio. So the student to faculty ratio is 1 to 14, pretty much meaning there's one professor for every 14 students, and the average class size is about 28. So that that's an average. So in your later years, that's going to be much lower. You can expect classes to be 10 students, sometimes less, and then in your first and second year, that's when you're going to have classes with 30 around students. Always depending on program, of course, but that's just to give you an idea. So we offer that sort of intimate learning style where you get to work with your profs, get to learn sort of more hands-on and closely with your professors and your fellow students, and we're really happy to offer that. So we are through Maclean's, we're ranked the #1 undergraduate university in Nova Scotia, where we are located, if you weren't aware, and we're top 3 undergraduate universities in all of Canada. So like I said, we offer that high level academics, but we also offer very small class sizes and small faculty to student ratios, so you can get that attention that you're deserving, and that will help you learn better. So we are located, like I said, in Nova Scotia, so it's about a 6-hour flight from BC. Obviously things are crazy now in the current atmosphere, but still flights exist, and we're happy to have you in. We offer shuttles at the airport to get you to campus, so you don't have to worry about any of that. But yeah, not a big deal at all. We are on the pretty much complete opposite coast, so it is pretty similar to BC in that way. Whereas BC is the warmest province in Canada. We're the second warmest. We're off that water, so it's not going to be a huge adjustment for you. The only difference is, you're on the other side. We're in the Atlantic instead, but the waters are still warm. The winters, obviously aren't, BC warm, but they are still, really nice. Still snowy, but not bad at all for sure. So we have a bunch of coastlines. We have 7,000 kilometers of coastline all across Nova Scotia, and anywhere in the province, you're only about 60 kilometers from the ocean. Here at Acadia, obviously, we're right here on the Bay of Fundy, right in the Annapolis Valley, so we're right on the water. But just to give you an idea of the area in general. So we are about an hour away from the capital city of Halifax. You would fly into Halifax International and then find your way down to Wolfville. The airport's obviously located outside the city, like any major city would be. So if you are actually going to Halifax, from Wolfville or vice versa, you're looking closer at like 40 minutes. I go up there quite often, and it's not a far drive at all. But far enough that you're actually located in your own world down in the Annapolis Valley, and that's what I really like. We have our own sort of atmosphere, separated away from the big cities. That's what we really offer. That's our community that we like, that small town environment. Halifax is very similar. I'm sure some people here are from Vancouver. Maybe I was in Vancouver very recently, and it's very similar to Halifax. Gorgeous city on the water, lots of nice buildings, cultural exhibits you can visit and whatnot. Again, you're not gonna feel like out of place or anything like that. It's gonna feel just like home. It's very similar to BC in that way. So like I said, we're located in the town of Wolfville, which is in the Annapolis Valley of Nova Scotia. So the Annapolis Valley is what you would consider wine country. So it's sort of the fertile region of Nova Scotia. Here in Wolfville, we have 8 or 9 wineries within the town limits. We have cideries, apple orchards, all these sorts of things. So it's a really nice, calm area to be in for sure. The town of Wolfville itself, it's really sort of a leader in community well-being. It's regarded as one of the more progressive towns in the entire country, and that's really because of its community-focused initiatives that Wolfville has, as well as its connection with Acadia. So the Acadia and Wolfville we're one and the same. We can't exist without each other, and that really shows. It's one big community. There's no major chains here in Wolfville, so you're not going to have any big box stores like Walmart or Best Buy or anything like that. We support local, so we have all locally owned stores for the most part. It's actually written into the laws that you can't have like a drive-through or anything. So our Tim Hortons, you have to actually get out of your car and go in. But that's kind of the environment you have here, where we are such a small town. Pretty much everything's located on one street, so you don't need a car, you don't need a drive-through. Everything's right here, right in town. I lived here for 4 years during my undergraduate. I came from Calgary. I never needed a car. I didn't have a car my whole time I was living here. Wolfville has everything it has to offer, all within the main street and front street. There's there's a bunch of restaurants, pubs, cafes, and whatnot. There's a lot of more artistic things you can do. There's a clay cafe. There's an independent movie theater that shows more artsy theater movies, and they do film festivals, those sorts of things. So there's always something to do. And it's all, like I said, located right within like 7 kilometers of the town itself, and that's square kilometers, right? So it's really about one or two of the main drag that you're really concerned with, and then just one street over, as you can see, we're still on Main Street. You have the Acadia University. So whereas Wolfville has 4,000 residents, we have 3,000, 4,000 students at any given time. So it's half and half. And that really creates that sort of community atmosphere that you may not get at a city university, where the university just exists within the city and there's not much intermingling. Everything is right here. So as you can see, This is our campus from a bird's eye view. So this is our residential area, where our major residences are. As you can see, this is this area over here, brand new $20 million science center we have renovated. Over here is our art center, and then over here is the town of Wolfville. So as you can see, it's all really integrated. It's all connected. You don't have to go far. If you're living on campus, it's only a couple feet to your classes. You have a meal hall here, and it's really great. And luckily, we're lucky enough that we don't have any COVID cases here. So everything's open. We're all enjoying each other's company, obviously, through precaution and whatnot. But those are the sort of benefits of having that small town community-based initiatives and atmosphere. So academically, we offer the three major faculties of arts, science, and professional studies. And across these, there's 30 different majors to choose from, and then over 200 different degree options. So that essentially means between those 30 majors, you can approach them in over 200 different ways. So like personally for me, I did a Bachelor of Science in Psychology, but I also double majored in history. So I took a little bit of science and a little bit of the arts to really fulfill my academic needs, my interests. That's what I was really interested in, and Acadia allows that sort of free movement to be able to do so. And you're always open to change your major as well. We're not going to hold you to your major. So if you come in with biology and suddenly you took some sociology classes in your first year, and you're like, wow, this is actually really for me. It's a very easy switch, and you can do that really at any point in your academic career here at Acadia. So there's a bunch of different options, whether it's double majors, major minors, doing honors or co-op or anything along those lines. Whatever it is, you're going to find something for you. So through the arts, we offer the major liberal arts that you think of, right? The politics, the philosophy, sociology, whatnot. We offer languages: French, German, Spanish. You have your histories, which can get a little bit more downstream through Canadian studies and classics and whatnot. We have the multidisciplinary women and gender studies. We have one of the best theater programs in all of Canada. It has some of the best hard facilities in the country. So it's a really great program. And then through our sciences, we have all the hard sciences you could imagine: chemistry, bio, physics. We offer our own computer science degree. So a lot of universities they put computer science in the math or statistics or physics world, and pretty much the difference here and what that means is that when you're doing your degree, let's say with a computer science, you have to do additional courses within the sciences, of course, to fill out your required courses. So if you were to do a computer science degree at a university that puts it under math, for example, you'd have to fill out those requirements through different math courses, whereas at Acadia you can do it all through different computer science courses. That way you're making sure that you have a variety of different computer science courses that you take, so everything you're learning is completely and 100% applicable to your degree, and you're not just filling out some requirements with additional math courses that may not be interesting or may not even be applicable to your degree. So that's something we're really happy to offer. We have engineering with an agreement through Dalhousie, so you can do your first 2 years here with us, and then move on to Dalhousie. That's a really great agreement that we have going back decades. So we're really happy to offer that as well. We have one of the best nutrition and dietetics programs in the Atlantic region. So these are things just to consider for sure. And then finally, our professional studies. So this is business administration and its various majors within it. Marketing, finance, etc. Community development, very popular degree at Acadia. Education, kinesiology, and music. Music also has music therapy within it. One of the few music therapy programs in the country, something we're really well known for. So These sorts of things are what we do offer. Health science wise, I know a lot of students are interested in moving on professionally in the health science field. So whether that's dentistry or medicine or what have you, we have a health science option here at Acadia, where you work closely with our health science advisor Helen d'Entremont to get you into that postgraduate program, whether it's medicine or dentistry or what have you. You'll work closely with Helen, and she'll make sure that she'll work with you through your applications and your MCATs, those sorts of things, to make sure you have the right courses, you're doing academically sound, etc., so that you can be sure to move on into that path. So admissions wise, I'm sure a lot of you are interested in our admissions guidelines. First of all, you're going to require English Studies 12 or the equivalent English 12 First Peoples. That's for all of our programs. And then you're also going to need 4 additional grade 12 university prep courses. So I'll pop over to those in a second just to give you an idea of what we're looking for. And then overall, for all of our programs, it's a 70% average for admission, with the exception of bio and kin. These are our more sought after courses, so we do of course have to raise that requirement, but for the vast majority of our courses it is 70%. And then for early admission, what we're going through right now is 75%, but I know we're being a little bit lenient as well with that, even with 70%, just due to the current atmosphere for students and their grades. Obviously it's been a little complicated, transitioning online or through the quarter system. So obviously we're a little bit more lenient there. So when I mentioned the 4 prep courses you'll need, it's anything from this list here. So as you can see, there's quite a lot to choose from. It can be pretty much anything you have here. Obviously, your sort of classic academic courses like bio and chemistry 12. Those are always safe. History, always a safe option. But of course, theater production, theater performance, those sorts of things, studio art, anything along those lines. I'll just hold this here for a second. I know a lot of students like to take pictures of this so that they have it on record, so they know, what courses to take to make sure that they have everything they need for their program. Additionally, you can find this online if you just go to British Columbia admissions requirements for Acadia. You can find this list there as well. And so some programs, they do have their own sort of specific guidelines, but keep in mind when you do apply, any additional course requirements will come out of those 4 that you need. So for example, if you were interested in chemistry, you need additionally you need pre-cal 12 and chemistry 12 with a 60% in those courses. But those come from those additional 4 you need. So it's English 12, pre-cal 12, chem 12, and then just 2 more courses. And then we'll use those to calculate your scholarship offer. So your highest courses in grade 12, those are what we're going to use to calculate your scholarship offer. That way we can offer you the highest amount. So if you didn't do too well in 2 or 3 courses, we're not even going to look at those when it comes to scholarship offers. So to tuition and fees, pretty standard all across the board for non-Nova Scotia students. You're going to look at about $9,200 for tuition, and then that'll probably average out a bit closer to 22,000, 23,000 overall. That's including a room and unlimited meal plan. You can also, a lot of students have private insurance. That way, you can opt out of health and dental and whatnot. So just keep that in mind. But this includes pretty much everything that you could think of. So yeah, it's a pretty standard across the board. Really, one of the more affordable top schools within the country. So scholarship-wise, we offer about $4 million every year. When you only have 3,000, 4,000 students, it's quite a hefty amount of scholarships to hand out. So when you do apply, you're automatically considered for scholarships, and if you have over 80% average, you will receive a scholarship. So that can range depending on your average, your financial need, those sorts of things. But the higher your academics are, the higher the scholarship you're going to get. If you show additional financial need for financial aid, you also qualify for additional bursaries, additional scholarships, those sorts of things. We obviously offer external scholarships too that you can find through our website. Each have their own sort of requirements, and then every program also typically has its own scholarships that it offers. So physics has quite a lot that they offer, etc. And there's also program awards. So these are sort of like one-time payouts, one-time awards that you get. You don't even have to apply for these. It's just based on like your academics and what you're interested in. So for example, I got 5 while I was at Acadia, and one of them was just because I was interested in military history. So it's like more specific based on your interests. It's typically from alumni or donors, in memory of an individual, and they'll gift that to you. So it's really nice, right? Like I believe that was for like $500, something along those lines. So that helped pay for quite a lot. Whereas the cost of living, as you see, it's quite low here in Wolfville, Nova Scotia overall, especially consider in comparison to BC or Vancouver, depending on where you are, where you're listening from. The cost of living here is not even comparable to British Columbia. Just to give you an example, I have a 1-bedroom apartment here. It's only $600 for me. So just to give you an idea, obviously something like that in Vancouver, that's going to charge you, $3,000, $4,000. So you don't have to worry about that. Also, where we're all located right here in Wolfville, you don't have to worry about getting a bus pass every month. So right there, you're saving, $150, $170, depending on where you are. Utilities, a lot of the times are included. Let's say you're living on campus as well. You don't have to worry about those. If you do choose to live off campus, the majority of our students do choose to live on campus, but off campus is always an option as well. Your rent's going to be very low if you're splitting it between, 3-4 people. Let's say your rent's going to be probably like $300, $400, and a lot of the times utilities included. Yeah, like cost of living here is really, really great. So that's always something to consider when you are choosing to live somewhere for over 4 years in some situations. So on campus, we offer a bunch of resources for students as well. This can range from the Writing Center or anything within the student union, like the Pride Center, the Women's Center, these sorts of things. But our main ones that are offered by the university, we have the Counseling Center here. So this is one-on-one counseling with trained professionals. I've been there before. They're really great. They're really nice to you. They never rush you. You can go there for your entire 4 years if you'd like. That way, your mental health is always supported. We have a medical clinic right here, right on campus, in the middle of campus. It's actually, sort of attached to a residence building, so you don't have to go far at all to get any sort of doctor's appointment or whatnot. And then we also have accessible learning services here. So if you do have additional sort of accommodations that you require for your learning, we offer pretty much whatever you could imagine, whether that's additional time for writing your exams, or writing your exams through typing instead of writing, or dictated, whatnot. Whatever it is, however we can support you, we're going to make sure that you are set up to succeed at Acadia. We want to make sure it's an even playing field for everybody. So have your notes written for you, these sorts of things, additional grants, etc. Oh, whoopsie. So that's something we're happy to offer. Co-op wise is a great program. So we have one of the best ranked co-op programs in the entire country. We offer it in over 80% of our programs. Pretty much the only courses programs that we don't offer it in. These are programs that are already very hands-on, and it just it wouldn't make a lot of sense to make them co-op as well. But it's gold certified, very high percent placement rate as well. some courses or some programs, the placement rate is in the 90s, sometimes even getting close to 100%. We're the only physics co-op in the Maple League. We're the only Nova Scotia university to offer co-op for nutrition. This is a really great option for your academic career. So you do 3 work terms over your co-op terms, and that's on average $10,000 per work term. So you're going to be making $30,000 before you even get out of your bachelor's. And a lot of the time, it really helps you transition into that work field because you already have that professional experience. You're already set up with those skills. And a lot of the time, students do work with those co-op institutions that they worked with once they graduate. You show them you're a great worker. You work with them for 3 terms. It's in their benefit to keep you on. So always a great option to sort of get ahead in your career. So just keep that in mind. So residence-wise, the majority of our students do choose to live on campus. So in your first year, 90% of first-year students live on campus, and then after that, it still remains the majority in 3rd and 4th year as well. There's 11 different residences that you can choose from, and they all have sort of their own unique personalities and traditions and whatnot, sometimes based on where they are on campus, sometimes just based on traditions that have emerged in the house. And I'll dive into this a little bit in a second. We offer a first-year guarantee for first-year students. So that just means, no matter what, if you're a first-year student, there's a spot on campus for you. We'll make sure you have a res room. And then, going on from there, we offer buyouts as well. So if you really like your room, you can keep it for the next year. If you really like the res that you're in, you can stay there for the next year. It's very important to have a healthy, happy residence life as well. That's where you're doing the majority of your living when you're not in class. You're doing your studying, just your average living, your socializing. That's obviously going to be in residence, and we want to make sure you have the best experience in residence. I lived in residence all 4 years. I loved it. It's my favorite part. So if you do have any questions about those, make sure to throw those in the chat, and I can help. That's sort of my specialty. Each house also has its own team of resident assistants. So these are students that are hired on by the university. They're trained in mental health first aid. They're trained in standard first aid, emergency. They're trained in offering those sorts of resources on campus. They can direct you to whatever it is you need. If you're struggling in one area, they can direct you, towards the counseling center or accessible learning services, whatever it is. Resident assistants, they're really great, really helpful, and they're in the house, 24/7. So there's always somebody there to reach out to if you're feeling like you just want to talk to somebody. They're there for you, living there with you. And they're fellow students, so they get the struggle. They get where you're coming from and whatnot. So that's a really good program. So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, this is our main residence block here. So this is Cutton House, Tower. These are sort of larger residences. First-year students quite often live there. And then you have Chase Court. So this is all single rooms in that building. Again, very large room. And these are all located right here by Neil Hall, so you don't have to go far at all. If you're more of a athletics student or a science student, a lot of students choose to live down here in War Memorial House, just because its proximity to the science sector as well as the athletic complex. Since it's closer, quite often those students choose to live there. Here you have the beautiful seminary hall. This is the oldest residence building in Canada. That's in operation today still. So that's a gorgeous building, one of my favorite buildings. And that's connected, to the School of Education, very close to the theater and Denton Hall for music students. So that building ends up, having a little bit more theater students, music students. So every building has, its own environment. We have Rojo over here, Roy Jowdry. That's a completely upper year building. It's full of suites, so that if you, in your upper years, if you want to live with your friends but stay on campus, you can live in Rojo. It has a bunch of suites on every floor. There's four on each floor, each with 3 rooms in them. So you can do it that way. War Memorial down here. It has on the 5th floor premium singles. So those are rooms with their own bathroom, their own shower. I lived in those for 2 years. I loved it. Obviously, you can't complain about your own bathroom and shower, especially as a student. So that's just give you an idea of campus, where things are located. And if you do have any questions, of course, put those in the chat. So dining hall is obviously another big part of your university experience. So here at Acadia, we have an amazing dining hall program. So it's one of the best in all of Canada. Since we are here in the Annapolis Valley in the fertile region of Nova Scotia, where all the farming is done and whatnot, a lot of our ingredients can be sourced locally, fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, etc. We also have our own sort of farm that we have here on campus. We produce our own greens year-round. We employ students through this program, and we're the only institution in Atlantic Canada that does that. So you can rest assured that when you're eating here, obviously it's important for your mind, important for your body to have great ingredients, great food, and we know that. So we offer an unlimited meal plan, so that's as many meals as you want, as many times a day. There is no limit. So some universities, they offer what's called a 21 meal plan. So that's 3 meals a day, seven a week. So ours is all day. There's no set meal time. Sometimes you'll go. Some universities, they only offer meals at lunch, at dinner. You can come here from 8 a.m. and you can stay all day until night. A lot of students choose to do that. There's a quiet section where some students like to set up. There's unlimited coffee and whatnot. So some students like to set up there, study all day, hang out with friends who come in and out, those sorts of things. Some areas over here. So this lady here, she's in the My Pantry section of Meal Hall. So that's a section where you can do your own cooking if you want. As you can see, there's fresh ingredients out. There's some fridges over here, some cupboards over here full of ingredients that you're free to use at any point, and you don't have to you don't have to clean your dishes or anything like that. So that's a big benefit if you're feeling like you want to cook something yourself. That's something you can go ahead and do as well. We like to offer that freedom. This gentleman here, as you can see, is one of our chefs. So there's a chef's table where chefs will cook with you one-on-one, whatever the meal of the moment is. They'll work with you to make sure that meal is to your specifications. If you want more sauce, more garlic, this ingredient, that ingredient, onions, ham, whatever it is, they'll add that to your meal that they're cooking, one-on-one with you. So that's a really great benefit that we have. For the more lazy eaters, like myself, we have unlimited pizza over here, make your own pizza station. There's grab and go meals over here. So if you're just ready, they're full plates full of food with all the major food groups. Over here we have the vegetarian options, the flexitarian options. Then there's more of a fried station, which is still very healthy. It's grilled cheeses and whole grain chicken strips, these sorts of things. There's a deli section, bagels, coffee, tea, really whatever you're looking for. There's a dessert section, unlimited ice cream, these sorts of things. So it's always great. Like I said earlier, it's important to have a healthy body, healthy mind. And dining hall also, Chartwell's, they put on a lot of great events throughout the year. So one of my favorites that they do is Carnival Night. So you'll come into Meal Hall and they'll have the entire building decked out like it's a carnival. So there'll be bouncy houses over here, cotton candy machines over here, carnival games over here, and it's really fun. It takes your mind off your studying, helps you have some fun with your friends, and that's always great. So there's a million different ways to get involved on campus if you are a student who's interested in extracurriculars, volunteering, employment opportunities, those sorts of things. The ASU offers 80 different ways, 80 different clubs and societies and whatnot that you can get involved in. So every year they do Club Extravaganza, where they set up booths, and you can just travel around every booth, and they'll try to recruit you for their programming, whether it's cheerleading or Axe Radio, or the student newspaper, The Ath. Anything along those lines, there's always something for you. If by chance there isn't a club that fits your needs, what you're interested in, you can start your own club. You just have to have 2 or 3 of your friends sign a sheet that say, we want this club. The ASU will let you open that club. Boom, now you're the vice president of a club, what have you. Looks great on a resume. They'll give you an operational budget, so you can go ahead and do those things that you want to do from the ASU, and it's just that simple. Since Acadia is really community-based, there's obviously a lot of community initiatives that you can be a part of, volunteer for. So our most popular is called SMILE. It's a program for individuals with sensory and motor issues. So you get teamed up with a buddy, and you have that buddy through your whole time here. And you just do things together, whether it's swimming or activities, as you can see down here in the Acadia gym. Whatever it is, you're partnered up with that buddy for your time here. It's a very competitive volunteer program here. So 500 students participate in that every year. It's very popular. Students really love that. But obviously there's a million different other options you could do. For example, I did a personal support hotline here. So that's pretty much a volunteer activity where you get trained in mental health first aid, and then you act as a support hotline for students, so they can call in, and if they are having any sort of mental health crises, you can help them out, walk them through anything, those sorts of things. So that's just one that I personally volunteered with. Obviously there's a bunch that you can get involved with, as well as, of course, employment opportunities here on campus. Since we are so integrated into the town, and we're about half and half, the town employs students. Those students graduate, those employment opportunities open back up. So it's very cyclical here. Employment opportunities that are on campus and both off campus, both are very cyclical. So there's quite often employment opportunities if you'd like to do that as well. Athletically, we have a great athletics program. So we have 11 different varsity sports teams, 4 of which went to the national championships in 2019. So very great athletics here. If you're an athletic person, you can attend games for free. Your gym membership is included, so you have all access to the athletic complex. It's multiple gymnasiums, it's multiple pools, etc. Like I said, you get entrance to all the athletic games, homecoming, football, hockey, etc. You get access to ice time, court time, field time, whatever it is. There's intramurals, club sports, you name it, we have it. So there's always a way to stay physically active as well, and that's all included in your tuition. So our applications are open now. We are accepting applications right away. So pretty much what you would need to apply if you're in your grade 12 year, you just need to submit your unofficial grade 11s. So however you have those, whether it's like a screenshot or report card from last year, or you can do officials if you want, whatever way that you can get those grades uploaded onto your application. We use those for early admission. So let's say you got an 80 in social science 11, or let's say history 11, and we would use that grade that, and we're very quick to offer our admissions. So quite often, I saw a student earlier this week, they submitted their application in the same day they receive their offer. So we are very quick on our offerings. Our admissions department is working, consistently to get those offers out to you as soon as possible, help you make that decision, and help you, get here faster. Make sure you have a place here on campus where you're welcome. So yeah, go ahead and apply today. Just by attending this session, you receive a free application. So just use whatever email you use to sign up to this. It's automatically waived in the system. If there are any concerns, just reach out to me. I'll waive it for you personally. Not a big deal. So you don't have to worry about. Obviously, there's a good chance you're applying to multiple universities. We don't want that to be a cost at all. So we're happy to waive that for you. And dates that are coming up, just to keep in mind, we have an open house coming up here on the 9th to the 14th. So there's going to be virtual events. Obviously, you can't be here with us, but just to give you a little bit more idea about the university, things that are going on, might be good to attend those. And then BC webinar, very similar to this one, so you don't have to worry about that too much. If you do want to follow any of our socials, everything is new to Acadia U. There's a bunch of different options out there. So yeah, go ahead and follow those if you'd like. And then finally, my information here again. So if you do have any questions following this presentation, go ahead and throw those in the Q&A. If you want to be more private about your question, you go ahead and send me an email. Like I said earlier, you can book a one-on-one visit with me through our Future Students page. And no matter what, I'm here to help. I'm pretty much awake all day. It's about midnight right now, just due to the time difference. So that's just how it works. So I'm pretty much always available to answer your emails. So let me just pull up the Q&A section here. Will this video be sent out in case we need to watch it? So no, unfortunately, these aren't sent out. But as you saw there was another BC webinar coming up next month. You're happy to attend that. And I'm very consistently available. So feel free to reach out to me anytime you want, and we can get this information to you in maybe a more written way or whatever it is. That way you can have that information. Okay, we have another question here. It says, bit of a long one. I haven't seen the Acadia application, but applications I have looked at get you to pick your faculty. If I apply for a Bachelor of Science, for instance, would I be able to take courses outside of the faculty, such as social science courses? Yeah, so that's actually a requirement for the vast majority of our programs. So if you were to apply to Acadia, you pick a program of interest. So you don't pick a faculty in general. You would pick, let's say, biology. That just as it's our most popular Bachelor of Science. So you would enroll in biology, be accepted in that, and then when you get to campus, you have your science requirements. And then you would also have arts requirements and electives. So electives, that can obviously be anything you want, whether it's science, music, whatever. That can be anything. But then you also have arts requirements that you have to fill out throughout your degree, to a lesser degree than obviously your science requirements, since it is a Bachelor of Science. So yeah, it's actually a part of our degrees that you will have to reach out a little bit. That way, you are a fully encompassed student. You have knowledge from all the areas. So yeah, of course, the answer to that would be yes. If you are in a Bachelor of Science, you will be taking courses such as social science, history, sociology, these sorts of things. That's just a part of the program for sure. So I'm not seeing any questions yet. Other than those two, I'll let it sit here for a second, just in case anybody does have any final questions. But we are getting, close to that time anyways, so I may have rambled a little bit during the presentation, but that's fine. I have a bit of a personal question here. It says, as you have experience living and studying at Acadia, what are some of the things you like and or dislike or would like to change about the university or the campus community? I mean, not a whole lot to change, to be completely honest with you. Like I said, I went to a much larger school that had, 30, 40,000 students compared to Acadia's 3,000. And, the best part about Acadia is that, you're not a number. It's not, go to class, go home, do your courses, your exams. No, you never just meet your prof or anything along those lines. I became very good friends with some of my profs. That lasted outside of my time at Acadia. I really like that environment where you are, very connected to the community, and that goes beyond, courses, right? Like if you go downtown to get groceries, you're going to run into professors, you're going to run into friends, and that's really great for the entire environment, right? I was just down at a restaurant. I ran into some old friends from when I was in my bachelor's, and that's just that kind of community you have, and that's really, really welcoming, and something that I think is really undervalued sometimes. Just feeling like you're at home, no matter where you go, where you are in Wolfville, somebody's there that that you can connect with or share experiences with, and I think that is really great compared to some of these larger city universities where you are just sort of a number or whatnot. But obviously, that does have the downside. If you're looking for a university where you can sort of just fade away into the background and not be noticed, it's not going to happen at Acadia. Just straightforward. You're going to know your fellow students. You're going to know your fellow profs. They're going to know you. So if there is sort of like a downside or a dislike, some students may consider that to be one. But for the most part, I love the university. I'm happy to be back here. Obviously I graduated and I couldn't wait to come back and work for the university. So not much to dislike here. So another question, sorry if you already touched on this, what programs or courses is Acadia U particularly known for? It's a great question, actually. Let me pull up some of these. So programs wise, we're known for quite a few. We have a really great, one of the best physics departments in the region. Definitely one of the best nutrition departments in the entire country, let alone the region. Having your own Bachelor of Science program is without a doubt a huge benefit academically. Environmental science, environmental sustainability, both of those very popular at Acadia, something we're very well known for. That's due to sort of our environmental initiatives from the valley, being in this sort of fertile region and being people who are very interested in sustainability, environmental awareness, climate change, these sorts of things. That makes our environmental science, our geologies, our environmental sustainability studies some of our more popular programs. Again, going on that same vein, that also makes community development and kinesiology some of our very sought after programs, since community development is sort of the core of Wolfville and Acadia. It's really a great program in that sense. Kinesiology, one of our most popular courses, without a doubt. That's just due to the hands-on learning combined with the academics that it offers, right? Like you'll come out with qualifications already. You'll have certifications, training that is going to help you move forward, but it's also very hands-on. Like kinesiology, there's courses that are canoeing and camping and these sorts of things. So it's hands-on. You're learning, you're experiencing. So that makes it very popular as well. In that same vein, as I mentioned earlier, that makes biology very popular here, since we are in the Annapolis Valley and the Fertile Region. We're in what's called a microclimate, so we have our own sort of unique ecology and whatnot going on here. So that creates a lot of really interesting research opportunities for biology. Especially we're located right here on the Bay of Fundy, so that's the highest tides in the world. It's one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. So it, when that tide comes in and out so aggressively every day, it brings with it all of that sort of live biotics and whatnot within the muds and the waters and whatnot. So it creates its own sort of microclimate, which results in a lot of interesting research options, as well as tidal energy is on the rise with climate change and those sorts of things, and that amazing power of the Bay of Fundy, those 50 foot or 50 meter tides that come in every day, to harness that power, very popular as well. So another question here, what does a full-time course load look like at Acadia? So it's pretty much 5 courses is considered a full course. So that's 3 credit hours. Every course is what you would consider 3 credit hours. So that's that just means that throughout a week you have 3 hours of that course. So that can be in a variety of ways. So we have Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 1 hour, Monday, Wednesday for hour and a half, Tuesday, Thursday for an hour and a half, or we have 3-hour courses once a week. Those are typically at night. So you can make it fit your course schedule. What courses you are taking, that can change quite drastically depending on what program you're in. So the arts, you're gonna have, let's say, 3 arts courses. So you'll have like a language, your required course. So if it's history, intro to history. This is just a first year, for example. It changes in your 3rd and 4th years. You'll have humanities, in English or something along those lines for writing. Then you'll need like a science elective, and then just like a general elective, something along those lines. And then as you get further on, once you've completed your requirements for your degree, every degree has different requirements. Some require you to take some math courses. Like in my psych degree, I had to take I believe four math courses, 2 intro and then 2 2000 level. So that just means at a 2 second year level. So once I completed those, I'm done with math. I don't have to do any more math unless I wanted to, of course. Then I could take it as an elective and fill out my electives. But since I don't have to do math anymore, I can fill that with whatever I'm interested in. If it's a Bachelor of Science, I would most likely fill that with additional science courses so that I could get that breadth filled out, so I could get my requirements going. But you get academically advised every year just to make sure you have what you need. But there's also fun courses that students like to take. Human sexuality is popular amongst students. There's natural disasters, history of rock, oceans, these sorts of things. Very fun courses, interactive, that students like to take. So it's not all just science, arts. You get to explore a little bit more. So another question here regarding admissions. Does Acadia look at extracurricular involvement such as leadership or volunteering, or is it mostly focused on grades and GPA? So for the most part, it is focused primarily on grades and GPA. Obviously, your extracurricular involvement, leadership and volunteering, that's going to be great, especially if you're trying to get some additional external scholarships and whatnot. But for the most part, if you meet your academic requirements on grades and GPAs, we're most likely going to offer you admission into the university. We don't have those sort of personal profiles that some of the larger universities have. You've done well enough academically to get in. You deserve to be here. just like anybody else. So yeah, whereas it's not, a requirement. It is, beneficial to have those things on your CV, in your experiences, but mostly when it comes to admission, it is grades and GPA. All right. Not seeing any more questions yet, so I can let this sit for a couple minutes here. We have about 3 minutes left in the session. I'm on a 20-second delay, so maybe it's a little less than that now, but I can let it sit just here for a couple more seconds until we get to that point. I'll have my contact information again in case anybody needs it. Here we go. But other than that, it looks like we are wrapping up. So again, go ahead and start your application. Like I said, it's completely free at this point since the payment's waived. You can come back to it at any point. You don't have to do it all at once. If you need any help with it, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help, happy to be involved. That's what they pay me for, so I'm happy to do that. And like I said, I'm pretty much awake all day, every day, working with students and whatnot. So I'm happy to book a one-on-one with me through the Future Students page. And yeah, thanks for attending. Happy to meet anybody who would like additional help. But other than that, have a great night and stay safe. Okay, bye.